possible to run a successful blog in just 1 hour per day? I think it is. Welcome to the Productive Blogging YouTube channel. My name is Eb Gagano, and today we're talking all about how to run a successful blog in just 1 hour per day. Now, this isn't just theory for me. This is actually what I do. I have two blogs, productiveblogging.com and also my food blog, easypeasyfoodie.com. And I run Easy Peasy Foodie in about 1 day per week. So I spend usually 1 day per week on Easy Peasy Foodie, and I spend about 4 days per week on productive blogging, which means because I spend 1 hour a day on Easy Peasy Foodie, that's about 7 hours per week on Easy Peasy Foodie, which is the same as 1 hour per day. Now, I'm imagining for you, this might be 1 hour a day, first thing in the morning, before you go to work, or it might be 1 hour per day in the evening when you get back from work, or it might be 1 hour per day after you've put the kids to bed, for example. And I'm going to show you in this video exactly how you can spend those 1 hour per day, or that's 7 hours per week, to run a successful blog. Okay, so hour one is your prep hour. And this looks a little bit different depending on what kind of blog you have. So if I take my food blog as an example, well, my prep hour is going to be all about taking the photographs for the recipe that I'm making. So I would spend an hour just taking photographs, making the recipe, taking the photographs for that recipe, and uploading those photographs onto my computer. That's all I do for my hour one. But for my for productive blogging, I would use that hour for research. So that's the kind of prep that I need to do for productive blogging. Whenever I write a blog post, I always try and research the topic. Yes, I already know about the topic, but I want to make my blog post the best that it can possibly be. So I do that extra research just to add that extra sparkle. And if you've got a blog like Productive Blogging, you're also going to want to make sure that in hour one, you create an outline. So for every blog post you write, you're going to want to create an outline for that blog post to make sure that you cover the topic properly and to make sure that your blog post is well structured. So that's what I do in my first hour for productive blogging. Easy Peasy Foodie, I kind of have a standard structure about how I structure a recipe post. So I don't need to do that. So I can spend my whole first hour just on photography. Okay, that's hour one. Hour two is going to be your first draft hour. So in this hour, what I want you to do is just for 1 hour, just write your first draft. Use that outline that you wrote in hour one and just write. I don't want you to start thinking about editing. I don't want you to start thinking about formatting your blog post. Just write, and write freely, knowing that nobody is ever going to see that first draft. So you can just relax and write and not worry at all about spelling, not worry about punctuation, don't worry about structure and Julie, just get it down, because you're going to have time later on in the week when you're going to sort that out and turn it into a really good blog post. Okay, hour three is all about honing and polishing that first draft and turning it into something really good. So you're going to take that first draft and you're going to edit that first draft to make it into the best blog post that it can possibly be. And I always recommend 3 rounds of edits. So the first round of edits is content. Go through your blog post and make sure that you've covered the topic well, that you've not waffled, that you've not missed any points, and that it's really answers the question that your reader had when they first came to your blog post. The second thing you want to do is you want to edit your blog post for readability. And what I mean by this is you want to make sure that your blog post flows really nicely. And the way to do this is read your blog post out loud. I know that sounds a bit crazy, that you're going to feel a bit of an idiot doing it, but honestly, it makes for a much better blog post if you read it out loud, because you can hear so much better where your blog post just sounds a bit clunky or a bit awkward or a bit difficult, and you can fix those problems. And the third round of edits is just to go over your blog post and check it for things like spelling, punctuation and grammar. Okay, that's all you're going to do in hour 3. Just edit that blog post and get it to be the best it can possibly be. Okay, hour 4 is all about formatting that blog post. So up till now, don't even go anywhere near WordPress. Write your first draft, do your edits, do all of that in Word or in a Google Doc, something like that, so that you don't get distracted. Because if you start writing your first draft in WordPress, you're going to get distracted. You're going to start doing things like putting in the titles or adding pictures or anything like that, and that's going to distract you from the process of freely writing or the process of focusing solely on editing. So don't do any of that in WordPress. But in hour 4, when you come to format your blog post, that is when you are going to do all that formatting. So take that first draft, or second draft really now, because you've edited it, and take it, paste it into a WordPress new post, and start formatting it. Put in all of your headings, put in all of your images, put in any bullets that are required, put in any quotes that you've got, and make that blog post into the perfect finished final blog post. But don't click publish yet. So either put it into draft or schedule it out and then just leave it. Okay, that's the end for hour 4. Okay, hour 5 is proof and publish. So in hour 5, what you're going to do is first of all read over the blog post that you have written one last time, make any final edits, and then press that publish button. That's all you need to do in hour 5. Okay, hour 6 is all about promoting your new blog post. And the first and most important part of promoting your new blog post is go and tell your email subscribers about it. So hopefully you write an email newsletter each week. So now is your time to write your email newsletter and to make sure that you include information about your new blog post and encourage them to head over to your blog and read that blog post. If you've got any more time, you then want to promote your blog post to social media. So that's things like Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, and make sure that you have promoted your blog post on those channels. You can do this manually or you can use a tool like CoSchedule. I love CoSchedule. It's just the most amazing tool. It allows you to schedule your social media. It allows you to automate various parts of social media, and it just speeds up social media so much that I reckon it saves me probably the best part of 30 hours a week. It's that good. It's amazing. And it allows me to reach so much more than if I was just posting manually to social media. If you want to know any more about CoSchedule, I'll put a link in the description, which will tell you a little bit more about CoSchedule and how it works. Okay, finally, hour 7 is your admin hour. So in hours 1 to 6, you have written your blog post. Well, in hour 7, it's time to do all of those kind of backroom jobs associated with your blog. So you're going to want to do things in hour 7, like update any plugins or themes, anything like that you've got to do, fix any broken links, run a broken link check and make sure that you've not got any broken links on your site. You're going to want to do things like check your email related to your blog, make sure that you've replied to everybody who's emailed you that week, and you're going to want to also check in on your social media and make sure that you've replied to any comments that people have put on your post. Now, I appreciate this is quite a tight schedule, but if all you have is an hour a day, I hope that you can see that it is possible to run a successful blog in about 7 hours a week or in about 1 hour per day. Now, obviously, if you've got a little bit more time, you can go through these steps a little bit more slowly. And it might be that you don't have 1 hour per day, but you can take this this information, these tips, and go and kind of apply them to the time that you do have. So maybe actually you have just 1 day a week to work on your blog. That's exactly what I do with Easy Peasy Foodie, and I run through these steps in that 1 day. So I work for about 7 hours a day on a Monday, just doing Easy Peasy Foodie related jobs, related tasks. But it might be that you have, maybe you have a little bit of time on a Tuesday and a little bit of time on a Sunday and a little bit of time on I don't know, a Wednesday or something, and you can split these tasks up among the available time that you have. So Take these tips and use them however it fits your schedule. I hope you have enjoyed this video and found the tips useful. If you have liked this video, I would really appreciate it if you would give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video.